Before we start with the training, I would urge you to open the file introduction.dwg which I have already provided in the resources section of this tutorial. In this video, we are going to look at two interface tables, dialog boxes and palettes. While these might seem similar, there are subtle differences in how they behave and how you use them to control your AutoCAD environment. Understanding these differences is fundamental to working efficiently. Let's start with a typical dialog box. I'm on the Home tab and I'll head to the Annotation panel. I'm going to click this flyout arrow and pin it open. So I'll click on this pin icon over here. Now over here you can see you get options for managing the text style, the dimension style, the multi-leader style and the table style. I'll click on this letter A with the paint brush icon, also called as the text style. Now this opens the dialog box for the text style. You can identify it as a dialog box by looking over here. In the top left corner, you will always see the name of the dialog box in this header area. You will also get an option to close the dialog box with the help of this close icon. You get the option to increase the size of the dialog box horizontally like this and then decrease the size. But see, you cannot decrease it beyond a specific horizontal width. Same way, vertically also you can increase the height and then you can decrease it, but you cannot decrease it beyond a particular specified width. Same way, if you come at the corner, you can diagonally increase the size of the box, maintaining the aspect ratio, and again you can reduce it, but you cannot reduce it beyond a specific width. In a dialog box, you'll always get options like checkboxes or radio buttons for switching the settings. You'll also get options to apply the settings or cancel the dialog box settings. For now, I'll click on cancel. Now let's try to understand what we mean by palettes. First, understand that dialog boxes are fairly common in almost all Windows-based applications. However, palettes are unique to AutoCAD. So again, I'm in the Home tab. This time I'm in the Layers panel and I click on Layer Properties. Now this structure which you are seeing before you is called as a palette. On the left side you will see the name of the palette, that is Layer Properties Manager. On the top you get the option to close the layer palette. Below that you get the option to auto hide the layer palette. Again, when you bring the mouse or when you hover the mouse on that, the layer palette opens. When you drag it away, it gets closed. If you want the layer properties manager to be open all the time, again click over here and now this will remain open if even when you drag the mouse away from the palette. Then below that you get the properties. In properties you get the option to move the palette. So I can now move the palette left, right, top, bottom, or you can size the palette. So I get the option to size the palette like this. So I can size it horizontally or I can size it vertically like the dialog box or even diagonally like this. You also get the option to allow docking. Docking means when I click on the layer properties manager, and take it to the left side, you will see that it gets docked to the left side. Same way, when I click on the Layer Properties Manager and bring it to the right side, it will dock to the right side. If you want to prevent this behavior, then in the Layer Properties box in the settings, you can uncheck this. Then you also get the option to anchor left like this, or you can anchor it to the right like this. I always prefer anchoring to the left like this and keeping it open in the center like this. And I always prefer to keep the auto hide feature disabled so that the layer properties manager palette is open all the time. You can adjust individual columns in the layer properties manager this way and increase or decrease the width of the contents or columns in the layer properties manager. Finally, when you have finished adjusting the settings in the layer properties manager, you can close it by clicking on this X icon. There are hundreds of dialog boxes and dozens of palettes in AutoCAD. If you ever want to see a full collection of available palettes, head over to the View tab. Here in the Palettes panel, you'll find everything from tool palettes to the Properties window. Go ahead and explore a few of these on your own. See which ones you prefer docked and which ones you like hidden. Once you are comfortable, I'll see you again in the next video.